It's a real privilege to pray. And one of the things that we talk about in the book is we talk about how I believe that we each have prayer callings, prayer giftings. For example, you might be, and here's one of the categories, a praying friend. And so, like, perhaps God puts someone on your heart, and instead of just going, oh, I'm just suddenly thinking about my daughter right now, or my son, or my neighbor, say a little prayer for them. Lord, I don't know what's going on with my neighbor, but would you help them right now? And then later you find out that at that very moment, she was in crises. And that's when the peace of God fell. That's when the answer of God came for that point of crises. And so that praying friend gifting came through. So don't be afraid. You don't always have to walk around on your knees every day. You can walk through your life knowing that you are in the presence of God at all times. And of course you have those times where you hide in your prayer closet and pray, but just make your life an open prayer and pray as God leads you to.
Linda Evans Shepherd joining us today here on the Meeting House on Faith Radio from CPE International, as well as the Advanced Writers and Speakers Conference, Murfreesboro, Tennessee, the center of the publishing universe this week. Well, Linda, as you've read this book, When You Need to Move a Mountain, Keys to Praying with Prayer, with power rather, keys to praying with prayer. Now that makes
sense, kind of.
Okay. Praying with, you should actually pray with prayer, but it's actually keys to praying with power. So as you've gone through the challenges of your life, you mentioned the situation involving your daughter when she was very young, being in a coma, and actually going home to be with the Lord while she was in, if I'm doing the right math, or what?
She was 30.
Okay, so she had reached 30 years of age.
She did. The day after her 30th birthday.
Talk about what you learned as far as praying and dependence on God in that situation.
Well, everyone dies.
Correct.
Eventually. Lazarus, for example, was raised from the dead by Jesus, but he died again. He's still not here. I mean, today he's in heaven with the Lord. And sometimes people get so upset when they pray for a loved one and God doesn't answer their prayer with life on this earth. But as in my daughter's case, we did pray that she would be healed on earth, but the Lord chose to heal her in heaven. My daughter is no longer in a wheelchair. She's no longer blind. And she can do things she could never do here on earth, and I would never call her back. But I do miss her terribly. But sometimes we get the idea that we are God's boss, and and God has to do what we say if we muster up enough faith. If we muster up that mustard seed faith, He has to obey us. And we forget that He is our boss. He is the creator. And sometimes we fail to see the miracle. So the miracle in my daughter's death is that she is not gone, and she is beautifully healed and in the presence of the Lord.
Well, there is the biblical reference to moving a mountain, and in correlation with that, you have Jesus teaching that if you have faith as a grain of mustard seed, you can say this mountain, be removed and cast into the sea. So when you talk about that faith, the size of a mustard seed, what does that mean to you?
You know what? It's truly about trusting God, because that is truly what faith is. It's more than just saying God will do what I say when I tell Him. It's more about God will answer my prayer as I trust Him. It may not look exactly what you want, but that mountain is going to move. And there is going to be a miracle. And sometimes we are blind to the miracle because it doesn't come the way we expect. And so we have to be open and allow God to be God. And we have to know that He loves us, He hears us, and we really can trust Him.